Daddy Pig's Roller Coaster. Opening in 2025, this kiddie coaster is located in the awesome Peppa Pig theme park in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. With a small launch and great theming, this does a bit more than an average kiddie coaster. But is it worth a stop if you're not going with younger kids? Find out in this review. The Peppa Pig theme park is owned by Merlin, which has a lot of different parks throughout Europe and the world, as they own all of the Legolands. They started making a small kids park themed to Peppa Pig when they opened the first in 2022, right next to Legoland, Florida, as a separately ticketed park. One more opened in Germany, and all of these parks look very much alike. And I suggest checking out Slovenian Girl Abroad's video on the German park to really get to see this. The defunct Montasia Family Fun Center was transformed into a Peppa Pig theme park. As far as I can tell, it has the exact same attractions as the Florida location, which is fine, as the park is very charming for what it is. Peppa Pig theme park has some shows, but they hide what they are until you're actually in the park. There are 4 flat rides as well, a kiddie drop tower at Mr. Bull's High Striker, a quasi-dark ride in Grampy Rabbit's Dinosaur Adventure, where you get to go past dinosaurs, Peppa Pig's balloon ride with his really catchy song, and Granddad Dog's pirate boat ride. All are accessible to adults, as well as their intended audience of children. Furthermore, the park has a bunch of different play areas that kids can explore as well. With this coaster very easy to pair with a day at Six Flags Over Texas or nearby FBI Visa spinners, it should be an easy credit for enthusiasts to get. Peppa Pig theme park is also just a wonderful family park, so spending a day or even a few hours here is well worth the price of admission, even if it is a bit high. I got a slight discount using Groupon, so I do suggest looking there for a decent price ticket, if that matters. Daddy Pig's Roller Coaster is a family coaster built by Zamperla. Zamperla has made over 400 different coasters, mainly specializing in family or kiddie coasters. This is a take on their family coaster, which is mainly the Gravity 80 STD model, which is what Frankie's Mine Train at Frontier City is, or essentially Great Chase at Six Flags America. The 155-meter model was essentially made for these Peppa Pig coasters, as 3 of the 4 models are the Daddy Pig's roller coasters at the 3 Peppa Pig theme parks. The other one is Snoopy's Tender Bar Twister at Knott's Berry Farm. The theming for this coaster is really cool. The whimsical music throughout the park sets the mood, and then you have a long queue line that goes by some hedges and into a house. You can even see that Daddy Pig has lost his car keys if you stay in here long enough. Then you get a few views of the coaster before loading onto the train. The train is long, but the ride is popular enough with most guests at the park, so I expect it can have a few train wait on busier days. It was essentially a walk-on for me during my weekday visit, but I still ended up waiting a little bit as, with kids and families, dispatches were not always the fastest. The talking during the ride is neat to hear off-ride, though you really can't hear much of it in the queue line, and it is really hard to hear on-ride. This is similar to other coasters using onboard audio like the Big Bad Wolf, the Wolf's Revenge. The first helix is around a chicken coop. This drop is pretty shallow and kinda lacks laterals. The bottom of the helix is a bit forceful though, and towards the back of the train the positive G's get some force to them. Towards the front though, you get more of a push-through feeling, which is always a neat feeling on kiddie coasters. These turns here are not great or even decent in the lateral department. despite the fact that they do ask adults to sit on the outside of the train. They are pretty similar to other mild helixes on Zamperla kiddie coasters. Next is a turn and a bunny hill combined, or essentially a mini wave turn. This offers mild side-to-side shaking, which is neat, but not really a strong overall element, despite looking promising, especially for a kiddie coaster. The theming here is that you're passing a road closed sign, and a broken pipe in the road. This presumably has Mr. Bull going to fix this, as that's what he did in the episode I watched in the cinema. The quasi-boost is really cool to see on a kiddie coaster, but it's pretty weak. Just enough to keep your speed, it seems. The upwards hill here does have a slight rocking motion at the top, which is likely the best drop feeling on the ride. This transitions into another downward helix, which similarly has strongest positive G's and few laterals. The last helix has Mr. Rhino sitting around a tent, and then in kiddie coaster fashion, you get a second lap. Overall, how good is Daddy Pig's Rollercoaster? This is a well-themed coaster with two helixes that offer solid positive G's, but are a bit weaker on laterals. And the rocking back and forth feeling on the hill after the launch is the best quasi-drop feeling that you're going to get on the ride. With unique elements, it does its job of universal appeal, but doesn't have any wild or thrilling elements. Despite the lack of a standout kiddie element, I still rank it rather highly just for the theming and the length. Placing it right above Batgirl Coaster Chase at Six Flags Fiesta Texas, which has solid theming of its own after the retheme, and I rank it highly due just to how much I love the mixture of laterals on its first drop. I rank Daddy Pig's Rollercoaster right below Python Pit at Fast Lanes Entertainment, which has a decent first drop followed by a rocking at the bottom, which is fun. With some laterals on the helix and rocking on the final hills, it is a complete kiddie coaster experience. What are some of the best themed coasters that you've been on? What elements are your favorite on them? Let me know, and as always, Kapkun Krap.